Good evening. Coming up tonight.
Murdaugh has pled guilty on multiple federal financial charges.
Plus, Gamecock football returns home to host Mississippi State after a close performance against Georgia.
And later, Therapalooza is coming to the South Carolina State Fairgrounds.
But first, Nicole Smith is in the studio with us now. Nicole, what weather can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, Elizabeth, we can be expecting to start the week off with some warmer temperatures, but it will be cooling down throughout the week. I'll have the weather forecast for this week and more for you tonight on SGTV Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Elizabeth Martinez.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Governor Henry McMaster announced South Carolina is prepared to resume the use of lethal injections. McMaster and the South Carolina Department of Corrections released a joint statement sharing the state-secured pentobarbital, the lethal drug used to carry out executions.
Following the release of the statement, state officials sent a filing to the South Carolina Supreme Court asking justices for executions to resume. South Carolina's last batch of the lethal drug ran out in 2013. The state has not carried out an execution since 2011.
In a statement released on Tuesday, Governor McMaster shared, quote, "This filing brings our state one step closer to being able to once again carry out the rule of law and bring grieving families and loved ones the closure they are rightfully owed," end quote.
South Carolina has currently 34 inmates on death row. It is unknown when or if executions will resume.
A year after the death of a working custodian, the Belk department store in the Columbia Mall is being sued for negligence by the late worker's family. 63-year-old Bessie Durham went into the bathroom at 7 a.m. on November 15, 2022, where she had a cardiac event.
Her body was left undiscovered until 4 days later, when law enforcement contacted Belk following up on a missing persons report made by her family. Hoping for this to be a wake-up call, along with the department store, another lawsuit has been filed against Keller Meier Bergensen Services, also known as KBS, which is a California-based facility services company who is the contractor that Durham worked directly for.
Belk and KBS failed to properly hire and carry out routine inspections through the restrooms, leaving the family unaware and unable to bury her properly. Part of the damages they are seeking would go towards a scholarship fund for girls from low-income backgrounds to afford to go to trade school or college. Former South Carolina attorney Murdaugh agreed to a plea deal on numerous federal financial charges. Murdaugh agreed to plead guilty to 22 federal charges ranging from conspiracy to commit wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering. All charges carry at least a maximum of 20 years.
Court documents show Murdaugh has agreed to pay restitution set at the time of sentencing $100 per count and any coexisting fines. Murdaugh is required to surrender any assets and property obtained from the charges set at a minimum of $9 million.
Murdaugh must also remain cooperative with the investigation by agreeing to provide, quote, "full, complete, and truthful information about all criminal activities about which he knew," end quote. Following the plea deal, prosecutors agreed to not use self-incriminating information when considering Murdaugh's sentence.
Murdaugh is also facing more than 100 state financial charges.
Amazon announced Wednesday the company plans to hire 1,700 new employees from South Carolina. The decision comes in preparation for the holiday season's rush.
Amazon says a wide range of roles are available to applicants from all backgrounds and experience levels. Employees can earn on average over $20.50 per hour and up to $28 depending on location of employment.
Amazon's Senior Vice President of Worldwide Operations, John Felton, shared, quote, "Whether someone is looking for a short-term way to make extra money or is hoping to take their first step toward a fulfilling and rewarding career at Amazon, there's a role available for them," end quote. Since 2010, Amazon has invested more than $6.3 billion in South Carolina alone.
The company says these investments support 7,000 indirect jobs across the state in fields like construction and professional services. Amazon also contributed more than $6 billion to South Carolina's gross domestic product.
Interested candidates can see hiring locations and open positions at amazon.com/apply.
The Columbia City Council has voted to increase their own salaries for the first time in 17 years. With a 4-2 vote, the council passed for a new salary raise.
Columbia's council members have been making $13,350 per year. The new raise will be $7,000 more, bringing their total salaries up to $20,350 per year.
Council members have voiced how they hope this raise will help recruit young people and people with diverse backgrounds. Councilwoman Dr. Audrey Bustles said, quote, "A study shows that less than half of young people feel financially comfortable about running for office and are often deterred," end quote.
Columbia's population compares with the coastal city of Charleston, whose council has recently approved a raise as well to give their council members $20,000 and in Mount Pleasant $15,000 per year. For Columbia's council, this was only the first reading on the increase, and it will go back to the council on October 3rd.
A new vintage shop has opened in Columbia, and it's right next to a popular spot on campus. SGTV's Bridget Bruchalski shows us what they got.
Candace Sharp is no stranger to the vintage game.
I have like a long history of doing this, and it's something my family did as well.
What started as drawing outfits in high school turned into a passion for collecting and selling secondhand items. Strange Times is just down the street from Carolina Cafe. The walls are lined with everything from shoes to sunglasses to handbags and jackets. Sharp says she loves seeing people shop around.
Anytime people buy something, I feel validated. Like, okay, I do kind of know what I'm doing.
The store is just getting ready for its first pop-up event. Strange Times will be on Green Street next Thursday at the Vintage Fair. Sharp says she's excited to continue working with students going forward.
Owning a business on campus is just, it's a whole new world because I wouldn't have connected with college students before, so I'm learning from them.
According to online consignment shop Vestiaire, the resale industry is expected to grow 11 times faster than retail in the next 2 years. Strange Times now joins the ranks of Panner Pete Vintage and other eclectic shops in the area. For SGTV, I'm Bridget Bruchalski.
Thanks, Bridget. Back in 1980, Joanne DeHart and her husband owned Frandina's, a restaurant serving up some hot food. But when her husband passed away in 2010, she began volunteering at a thrift store. With the old Frandina's still standing, Joanne was inspired by the thrift store to open up her own, which became Heart and Hands Thrift Shop.
Serving all in the community with furniture, clothes, toys, and anything more you need, Joanne has one volunteer, a friend from the other thrift store, Jan Akisto, to run the place smoothly for her. Although Joanne thought there was one more thing missing, that one thing was some hot dogs.
She put up a small hot dog stand named Jay's Hot Diggity Dogs right in front of Hearts and Hands Thrift Shop for everyone to enjoy some hot food just like back in the 80s. Stop on by and grab yourself a hot dog the right way, as Joanne says, quote, "Get a hot dog all the way with chili, mustard, onions, everything," end quote.
At 85 years old, Joanne runs both the thrift shop and hot dog stand, saying it's never too late to start something new. I love stories like this.
Oh my gosh, I am so obsessed with her. I wish she was like my grandmother. And right now, I know it's past dinner time, but I'm craving some hot dogs. We should like go get some.
Let's
like
do it.
Cook out right now. Coming up after the break, News 4 sports reporter Violet Raftery and Marissa Womack will give us the latest in sports. Stay close.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Violet Raftery.
And I'm Marissa Womack. Gamecock football took a trip between the hedges this past Saturday in Athens, Georgia. While the team had fans shocked with the Gamecocks leading 14-3 at the half, the final in Athens was 24-14 Bulldogs after a dominating 21-point swing.
Spencer Rattler had a strong first half, completing 16 of his 18 passes. However, he struggled in the second half, only completing 6 of his 24 attempts. As the rain came down, Bulldogs fans were barking up an even louder storm.
The offense and defense had their struggle throughout the second half of that game. After their loss in Athens, the Gamecocks now have a record of 1-2. This Saturday, the Gamecocks are hoping to see a win against a different team of Bulldogs at home for a 7:30 kickoff against Mississippi State.
Now, there were two small victories after the game for freshman Tree Babalade and redshirt sophomore TJ Sanders. Babalade was named Freshman of the Week by 24/7 Sports, while Sanders was named SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week. And I just love that we had a couple of positives come out of this unfortunate loss.
Yeah, especially with Spencer just receiving an Offensive Player of the Week the past week. It's really good for the Gamecocks.
Yes.
Gamecock women's soccer has officially entered conference play in the Southeastern Conference for this season. Take an inside look into their game Friday against the Vanderbilt Commodores.
Megan Spies needed no help scoring her first goal of the season and put the Gamecocks on the scoreboard less than 10 minutes into the first half. And Karina Zolo scored her first goal just 3 minutes later as Catherine Berry tallied her team-leading 4th assist of the season. Shea O'Rourke was quick to follow up with a goal of her own, putting the Gamecocks up 3-0. The score remained through halftime, and the Gamecocks weren't able to put the ball through the goal again after that. Vanderbilt was more aggressive with their ball towards the end of the game, but their one goal with under 5 minutes remaining wasn't enough to recover from the South Carolina dominant first half. They head to Lexington, Kentucky on Thursday. With SGTV Sports, I'm Allie Popolarchek.
After Week 5 in Division I women's soccer, the Gamecocks have officially been ranked 7th overall by United Soccer Coaches.
The men's soccer team kicked off conference play on Friday as well, picking up their first Sun Belt win of the season in Kentucky. The Gamecocks' 1-0 shutout against the number 24 Wildcats marked the team's first-ranked win since 2016.
Goalkeeper Ben Alexander's second clean sheet of the season played a big part and earned him the honor of Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Week. Alexander played the full 90 minutes and recorded 4 saves to ensure that the single goal from the Carolina offense was enough to secure the win.
And in other good news for Gamecock goalkeepers, former player and All-American Charlie Arndt will have his South Carolina jersey retired in a ceremony prior to tomorrow's game. Arndt accumulated a number of accolades and accomplishments in his time in Columbia, including 4 NCAA tournament appearances, 1 for every year that he played.
He was named the National Soccer Coaches Association of America Goalkeeper of the Year in his last season with the team, and is still ranked 2nd in the program in solo shutouts with a total of 24. Following the ceremony for Arndt, the Gamecocks host Georgia State in Stone Stadium for a 7 p.m. start.
Love is in the air for the Gamecocks women's basketball team, and it's here to stay for the 2023-2024 season. Every year since 2012, Dawn Staley, head coach of the women's team, names a new theme for the season. Last year's theme was DNA, an acronym that stood for Dreams, Nets, and Assets.
And on Monday morning, the team announced that the 2023-2024 season will be centered around the word love, and fans or FAMs are showing their support.
Many have responded to the announcement on X, formerly known as Twitter, expressing their love for the theme. And fans can show that love in a special way this year.
The team shared recently that their goal is to have 16,000 season ticket holders to celebrate Staley's 16th season and help sell out Colonial Life. It's all about giving back. Season ticket holders become a part of the team's Community Supporter Initiative. A purchase of season tickets serves as a donation to the athletics department, further spreading the love that this season is all about.
While the season ticket package won't apply to the team's opening game against Notre Dame in Paris, they can be used for home games that have newly been released for non-conference schedule. The team will take on 13 non-conference opponents, hosting 7 at home. I really love this theme. I feel like love truly applies for the atmosphere that the fans come into.
I totally agree, and I love that this schedule is out so you can start putting those dates on your calendar. Look forward to all the love they'll be bringing this season.
Coming up after the break, News 4 entertainment reporters Chloe Castain and Emma Connelly will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Emma Connelly.
And I'm Chloe Castain, here to give you the latest in this week's entertainment.
The greatest show in the Southeast, Therapalooza, is coming to town this Friday, making it a night you don't want to miss. This is an annual event that raises awareness and funds for the Therapy Place, a nonprofit organization that provides therapy and educational services for children with special needs and their families. The night includes the presentation of the Davis Award to Mayor Tem and his wife Cassie Miles, who are advocates of the Therapy Place. Their daughter Emma participated in its programs in 2012. The night also includes live music by the Hot Sauce Band and catering from Louche Culinaire. The event is from 6:30 to 10:30 p.m. at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds Goodman Building. And for more information, visit event.gives/2023 Therapalooza. Want an opportunity to get involved with one of the fastest growing sports? This Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m., 2 YMCAs in the Columbia area are hosting a grand opening for their new outdoor pickleball courts. The Jeep Rogers YMCA and the Northwest Family YMCA are showcasing their newest courts. Both facilities are holding demonstrations, running an open play, and even hosting a giveaway. The YMCA has invested more than $100,000 in the outdoor fitness, which includes multiple pickleball and tennis courts at various locations. Can't make the grand opening? These outdoor pickleball courts are open 7 days a week and are free to members. So head on over to one of 2 locations to join the pickleball fun.
Tony Award-winning play Sweeney Todd is soon to be hitting the stage in Columbia. The play will be at the Trustis Theater from September 29th through October 28th. With an entire month to catch the show, you should definitely find time to support the local cast. The play was written by Stephen Sondheim, who is known as one of the best playwrights in modern history. Sondheim passed in 2021, but his plays live on in local productions, tours, Broadway performances, and movie adaptations. This production of Sweeney Todd stars actor Chris Cockrell as Todd and is directed by Patrick Michael Kelly. Tickets for the show can be purchased at trustis.org in their upcoming events tab. Divorces are ramping up in Hollywood, with many A-list celebrities calling their relationships quits. Kevin Costner and his now ex-wife, Christine Baumgartner, called their 18-year relationship quits this past week. Another shocking split is the Jonas-Turner divorce, which made headlines. Accusatory comments were made by Jonas's team. Fans are awaiting official divorce information from both sides, and we actually have breaking information that Sophie has sued Joe to bring the kids back to the UK. Among these splits, other breakups include Ariana Grande, Sofia Vergara, Reese Witherspoon, and Britney Spears. Witherspoon and her husband were together for over 10 years, while Spears and Grande had been with their husbands for less than 5 consecutively. According to an Insider article, data from the Center for Disease Control points out a noticeable rise in divorces since the pandemic. While lots of couples are stressing, I just hope this trend doesn't reach Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Now, I don't know about you, but if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds do call it quits, not only will I lose hope on relationships, but very possibly life itself. I'm not sure what to think about that.
Yeah, I would be devastated. I would not believe in love anymore. I honestly.
Right.
And Taylor Swift wrote songs about their kids.
Right.
And if she believes in their love, when she's obviously such a hopeless romantic,
right,
then it's real love.
So then at that point, you have to throw the album out the window. And
yeah, folklore is gone
right,
if Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds break up.
Right, and then the dominoes fall and we have to go back to the Roman Empire. And I'm not entirely sure how we have to feel about that.
I think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds may be a girl's Roman Empire.
That is so true. Up next, maybe we should talk about a girl's Roman Empire. Just kidding. Actually, that's going to be all your entertainment news for tonight. Coming up after the break, Nicole Smith will let you know if this warm weather is sticking around. Stay close.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Nicole Smith. Here's your look at tonight's forecast. You can see as tonight we're having those temperatures of 63 degrees and those winds are going 6 miles per hour northeast. Now, if you're thinking about going out tonight, that humidity is at 74%, so keep that in mind when you're getting ready, you're doing your hair, all of that. Now, taking a look at those temperature trends throughout the week, as you can see, we're starting this week off with 81 degrees is that average, and we're gonna start off tomorrow with 80, and it's gonna go down to the 78. Perfect temperatures for that game day, for to be outside, to be in that heat, not too hot, not too cool, all of that. And then it's gonna start to go up into those low 80s, hitting 83 and 84. And then it's gonna start going back down into those low 80s, hitting 80 to 78. And it's gonna keep going down throughout the week. Now taking a deeper look at what this week is gonna look like, as you can see, going into the afternoon, we're gonna be in those high 50s to those low 60s. And then you can see we're gonna have some mostly cloudy skies throughout the week, except for here on Sunday, it will be sunny. And then here on Wednesday, it is gonna rain. So looking more at that rain for this week, as you can see, we're gonna have some scattering temperatures throughout Wednesday, accompanied with some scattering thunderstorms as well. And then as we move into the night, we're gonna have more consistent rain through the evening time. So if you're on your way from class, from work, anything like that, make sure you're prepared. Bring your rain jacket, your umbrella, your boots, all of that, because you don't wanna get caught in that rain. Now, throughout the whole week, we are gonna have some high UV index, which means those rays from the sun are gonna be beaming down pretty high. They're gonna be a 7 to 8 out of 10. So definitely make sure you put on the correct sunscreen because you don't want the rays from the sun to harm your skin at all. Now I know it is parent weekend, so kind of looking at the state as a whole, as you can see, we're gonna be in those high 70s to those low 80s, except for here in Myrtle Beach. Now Myrtle Beach is on storm watch, so if you have any family traveling, make sure you let them know that it's gonna be raining. It will start raining at 11 a.m. tomorrow and going all the way through Saturday. So make sure you're safe traveling and keep that in mind when you're figuring out when you're gonna leave, because it will start raining at 11 a.m. That's all I have for tonight. After the break, we'll have tonight's edition of Carolina Canines. You don't wanna miss it. Stay with us.
And finally, tonight's Carolina Canine features Duke. Duke was submitted by News 4 member Sarah Munoz. He is a 7-year-old golden retriever.
Duke is a proud member of the NYPD, specializing in explosive detection. When this friendly boy is not working, you can find him relaxing at home on the couch. I saw the cutest picture of Duke. He is this little golden retriever. He had a scarf on. He's a little police puppy. Adorable. I'm so obsessed. I'm personally a cat person, but I might change for him.
Yeah,
He's so
you can't
cute.
resist a dog. Beauty and brains. That wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Elizabeth Martinez.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.